Welcome back to our coverage of the Aircel Chennai Open 2014. Another big quarterfinal coming up. Considering the Indian interest, it's been rare, in fact only the third time ever, that there is an Indian in the singles quarterfinal. Draw here, competition here. But Yuki BHAMBRI will have a really tough time against Vasek POSPISIL. He is seeded 5th. Of course, the second highest ranked Canadian after Milos Raonic, who was here a few years and now unfortunately couldn't make it here this year. But he has sent his understudy, as it were, POSPISIL. Lovely young man. Very cooperative, ready with a smile. A credit to Canada in tennis. And here is the man of the moment, only 21 years old. He's had a wild card 4 years in a row now at the Aircel Chennai Open. And this year particularly, he has lived up to that wild card. A fluent win in the first round against a much higher ranked opponent. And in the second round, he did face Fabio Fognini, world number 16 in our third seed here. But just to remind you, in case you didn't know, Fabio Fognini was carrying an injury into the tournament. Forfeited his doubles where he'd signed up with Leander Paes, so that was a big blow for fans of Leander and Indian tennis. But then Fabio stayed around and did decide to play his pre-quarter final with Yuki. Had a bye in the first round, Fabio. And after going down in the opening set, they were 5-5 in the second before Fabio called it a day. Look at POSPISIL and now Yuki. Well, to his credit, Yuki played a very clever game earlier on, not going for too much. That's in the opening set, the opening match against Carreño Busta, and kept it safe, kept it inside the lines, chose his moments with care when he attacked. Seems to be in good shape physically, but this tall young man from Canada is going to be a handful for Yuki BHAMBRI. And for whatever it's worth, and it's always worth something, Yuki will benefit from home crowd support here at the Nungambakkam Tennis Centre. And for the home fans, we hope he has a good day. The much taller Vasek POSPISIL is a rising star of international tennis. Here's our FedEx toss. And after a bit of a spin, looks like the Canadian has won. He will possibly choose to serve, we'll see. Thanks to FedEx for being our supporters. Yuki BHAMBRI taking on Vasek POSPISIL, still very young. Plenty of opportunity for this young Canadian star. 32. How he has sped along the international ATP rankings. Very well placed. Only 23, so plenty of time for him to shine. Clearly top 20 material, and perhaps he will reach in 2014 itself. Only 23, 6'4". He's a big boy. Currently living in the Bahamas, Freeport. And Yuki, of course, well, I'll tell you what, wonderful opportunity to know more about Yuki, because along with my good friend Enrico Piperno in the commentary box, I'm very happy to give way to Sana BHAMBRI, Yuki's sister. So you want to know more? Now is the time. Thanks for tuning in.
And now we have the Yuki BHAMBRI stats. He lives in New Delhi. ATP ranking 195. His career best has been 174. Turned pro in 2008. These kids grew up very, very quick. 21 years of age. That is Yuki BHAMBRI. Only the third Indian to have reached the quarterfinals here at the Chennai Open. And earlier today, Yuki BHAMBRI was talking to Mayanti Langer.
So we're in conversation with Yuki Bhambri, who's become only the third Indian to reach the quarterfinals in the history of the Chennai Open. I mean, recently it was Somdev who did that. But I get a feeling, just look at him, that the job is not done. You obviously want to progress much further.
Absolutely. If you had asked me that question a year ago, I would have been happy to be in the quarterfinals. But it's different now. I expect more of myself, and I expect a good match today as well.
Do rankings have a part to play, considering, you were a wildcard entry, you've gone on to beat players that are, top ranked, 100 places almost among you, and your ranking will improve after this. Does that ever play through your head?
Well, I think once you step on court, after a certain level, once you're there in top 50 or top 100, it doesn't really matter. Once you go out there, I've played 64 in the world, I've played 60 in the world, you've seen some upsets in the Chennai Open as well. So once you step out there, you've got to be 100% fit and you've got to believe. I think that's the important thing, is where you can upset the top players. So I'm going to give it all. It's going to be a tough match, but I'm ready for it.
So a very confident young man. And it's a great pleasure for me to welcome my Fed Cup, a very accomplished tennis player in her own right. She's played Fed Cup for India, and she also happens to be Yuki Bhambri's sister. Sana, welcome.
Thanks, Rico. I wanted to thank Star Sports too for inviting me up here in the commentary box.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have guests, and you being a tennis player yourself and a very accomplished tennis player at that, as I've said earlier, it's always nice to have you with us. So thank you for being with us, Sana.
Thanks again, Rico.
I want to ask you a question. What has Yuki done today? Let the Indian viewers know the way he sort of prepared himself for today's quarterfinal. Is there anything special he did, anything different? Or do you just went about just warming up and doing what he normally does before a big match?
I think he loves to relax, so he kind of pretty much spent the day in the room, came out for practice around noon, hit a couple of balls with his coach, Aditya Sachdev, for about 30-40 minutes. And then, huge movie fan, so sat and watched a couple of songs on TV, watched half a movie, and then just relaxed in the room for a bit before coming on court.
And of course, he also visited the stall of KGS. KGS, this is state partner for the Aircel Chennai Open 2014. See Yuki signing autographs and of course getting himself photographed with the various members of the KGS group, the state partners of the Aircel Chennai Open 2014. A wonderful shot there. Of course, all our players at the Aircel Chennai Open are always doing a lot of off-court stuff with the sponsors. And it's such a wonderful event that takes place in Chennai at the beginning of the year. 18th edition here at Chennai. Of course, here are some tweets. Indians to reach the quarterfinals, as I mentioned earlier. Leander Paes in 98, Somdev in 2009, and young Yuki Bhambri in 2014. 3 Indians have the honor of being quarterfinalists, and I hope it doesn't end here for Yuki. I love him to continue.
Yeah, it would be exciting if he can get another top 50 win here tonight.
It's a very exciting match for all of us as we look forward to this quarterfinal encounter. The only Indian left in the singles draw, Yuki Bhambri. And of course, he's playing a very accomplished tennis player in Vasek POSPISIL from Canada, who made a big climb last year. Our air umpire Arnaud Gabas from France. Coming back to POSPISIL, he had a tremendous year. He's ranked 32 in the world, a semi-finalist in Montreal. That's a 1000 Series 1000 event where he lost a very close match to none other than Roger Federer. So very, very tough opponent here for the young Indian. But then, like I said, he has nothing to lose. He can come out all guns blazing.
I think early in the year, Rico, you'd agree, rankings kind of just play a number because they're all coming from an off season.
Yes, this is a great event to do well in, and I'm glad Yuki has taken full advantage of it. He's already had one big win, and Let's hope that they can put 2 under his belt. So anyway, we get underway here. Quarter-final action. Vasek Pospisil from the far end serving to our very own India's Yuki Bhamri.
15 left.
The Canadians too were semi-finalists in the Davis Cup in 2013. Pospisil lost a close 4-setter to Novak Djokovic in Belgrade. The opening service game here by Vasek Pospisil. His countryman Milos Raonic, been part of the Chennai Open past couple of years. Another very talented Canadian.
30-15.
So Yuki on the board. 30-15.
Great serve there, first ace of the match.
196 on the Rado speed gun.
Game Pospisil.
A good first serve by Pospisil. Hold serve.
First game.
He needs 1 game to love. Tell us, Sana, I'm sure the viewers in India would like to know what you've done with yourself for the last couple of years.
I played for India back in 2009 and then went and played for NC State in the US. Played a year of college tennis there, finished in the top 20 there. It was a fun year. Completed my MBA last summer.
And you're a working lady now.
I am working the corporate world.
If I remember right, the 2009 Fed Cup was in Perth.
It was in Australia. It was the year when Yuki won the Junior Australian Open and was world number 1 for about 10 months.
Yeah, I think at the same Australian Open, Mahesh Bhupathi and Sania Mirza won the mixed.
They did.
Yes, and we were busy practicing hard in Perth. We had Sana, Ankita and Rushmi, am I right?
Correct, yeah.
The venue where the Hopman Cup is being played at the moment. Fabulous venue in Perth for tennis. So Yuki Bhamri, love 15. Good second
15.
serve, nice and deep. Forcing the error.
I think this is one of the tournaments here in Chennai which kind of spoils the Indian players for the rest of the year trying to play on the Challenger and Future circuit. It's one of the most well-organized tournaments of the year.
30-15.
Again, a good forehand by Yuki Bhamri, forcing Pospisil to go to a one-handed backhand. Something he's not very comfortable doing.
Great pass there.
Great foot movement there by Yuki Bhamri to get behind that backhand.
15.
Let's see a replay of this. Pospisil doing well, hitting that forehand early on the rise. Yuki was right there, right behind the ball to drill it cross court.
Great approach there to close out the first service game.
1 game all.
So good hold by Yuki Bhamri. We all tied up. You see 1 game all.
second.
ACL Chennai Open quarter-final action,
Yeah, sure.
2014.
What do you need?
And of course, it's a Beauty and the Beast. As POSPISIL, this is something I don't think the organizers at the Chennai Open like to see too often. Guys taking strapping off their legs. We've already lost a few
Do it again. Next time? No?
this week. Yuzhny pulling out. A Russian on the outside courts.
Yeah, still have one puck left.
The matches on outside courts are going on. And a quarter-final, Marcel Granollers, the 6th seed, is leading 5 games to 2 against Benoit Paire, the number 4 seed from France. Very talented Benoit Paire. And an earlier match, Edouard Roger Vasselin, the number 7 seed, coming through in a very tight 3 sets, winning 6-love in the third
15 love.
against Judy Sella. That's what the action is on the outside courts. We're back here, and of course this is Ram Kumar Ramanathan. Still probably can't believe the sort of week he's had.
Yeah, 19-year-old. I think it's given him a great confidence to win a match both in singles and in doubles action as well.
30
Again, he came through the qualifying, winning 3 tough qualifying matches. A
Give
great
the ball,
week
please.
for him.
Ball, Yuki.
Something always hard to do. I think most players don't like going through the qualifying rounds. It's one of the toughest things to do in a tournament, and he's definitely come the hard way. Good first serve there by POSPISIL, 40 love.
Such a key to have a big serve in men's tennis. You gotta make sure you keep holding your serve, otherwise you'll be up against it most of the matches. A good return by Yuki. Struck nice and early, on the rise. Forcing the error from the Canadian.
Game POSPISIL.
With that forehand error, POSPISIL holds serve.
POSPISIL leads 2 games to 1.
The number 5 seed leads 2 games to 1 in the opening set.
They seem to be soft a bit, yeah? Bring back the balls, please. More balls. Specific number, Yuki? There was a specific number, did you check or not? They all look the same, huh? Time. That's some news ball, just in case.
So live action,
Just in case. but-
SDAT
Yeah,
Tennis Stadium, Nugambakam, Chennai, in the district of Valluvar-Kottam. So they're all tongue twisters that Anand and Vijay have been training me to pronounce this past 1 week. So Yuki serving, near end, 4th game.
Love 15.
Close miss there.
Got that just a trifle late. Didn't miss by much.
Great first serve there on the POSPISIL backhand.
First double fault by the Indian. So 15-30 on Yuki's serve. Hit that drop volley a little too deep, Vasana.
Yeah, it was a smart approach, but then I guess he needed to have a little more crisp there.
Yeah, giving POSPISIL enough time to get there and play that forehand into the open court. So double break point here for the number 5 seed, Vasek POSPISIL. Wonderful forehand by Yuki there on the rise. Wrong footing the Canadian. Forcing the error. Takes that nice and early.
30-40, another break point here.
Needs to pop his first serve into the court. With an unforced error off the backhand side. First break of the match goes to the Canadian. Vasek POSPISIL leads 3 games to 1 in the opening set.
Balls, please.
See, the key really here, Sana, is when you play players at this level, can't give them even one free point in a
Balls
game.
down,
You know?
thank
when
you.
you do that,
Right side, please.
you know your serve is up against the kosh. You know,
That's
one
right,
double
big
fault,
call.
he missed a forehand early on.
I think you gotta, the key is to kind of stay in the match, stay as close as possible, make them hit the good shots.
Yep, absolutely. Again, Yuki's forehand hitting the top of the tape.
I think he hasn't settled down yet. He needs to kind of get into his rhythm and get into the groove here.
A big serve there by POSPISIL at 196. Straight at Yuki BHAMBRI. And a pretty easy put away. Wearing golden black. Sana, these are my school colors. La Martiniere, Calcutta. Bomb down the middle at 202. Dorado speed gun. And very quickly, Vasek POSPISIL has raced away to a 3-1 love lead.
I think Rico, those are Georgia Tech's colors back in the US too. School in Atlanta.
Okay. So anyway, Vasek Pospisil whole
leads
serve
4 games to 1.
with 2 big serves down the tee. And in about 15 minutes of play, he leads 4 games to 1 in the first set.
Time.
Welcome back. Shot here of Vasek Pospisil,
Line start, guys, please.
the number
Line up,
5
guys.
seed here at the Aircel Chennai Open 2014. Playing Yuki BHAMBRI. 16 minutes into the match and Yuki BHAMBRI serves from the far end.
Net for serve.
I think Rico Yuki needs to get the crowd more involved here.
Yep, I totally agree with you.
Love 15.
Didn't miss by much. What was very impressive when I saw him play his first match, Sana, was the fact he was brilliant in changing direction in the rallies. You know, he was picking those backhand down the lines, getting them early, getting his opponent off balance. He's doing that really well that day. Not really settled into that sort of mode at present.
Love 13.
Making a lot of errors from the ground.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a lot of unforced errors here. The first day he was a lot more patient on the court, ready to grind it through, and I think he kind of needs the same attitude tonight.
Yeah, he's probably pulling the trigger a little too early here. Anyway, needs to buckle down now. He's left 30 down. Definitely needs his first serve, which seems to be letting him down at the moment. Oh, that's a
15.
great second. A brave second serve there by Yuki BHAMBRI, out wide. See a replay of that right in the corner.
It was kind of wrong putting the opponent there. Great serve again there. Get it back to 30 all.
Net. Second serve.
Super backhand volley by the number 5 seed.
30-40.
Kids at home watching would see how balanced he is when he comes in on this. Racket out in front. Nice and firmly put into the corner. So with that, break point for the Canadian.
Juice.
Good depth by Yuki BHAMBRI there. Getting that forehand nice and deep, forcing the error. And back to deuce.
I think Yuki needs to hang in there in this game and claw his way back into the match.
Out.
Another unforced error there, just
Advantage,
about missing the
POSPISIL.
line. Break point number 3, I think, for this.
That's more like it. That's the shot I was talking about. In his first round, he was very, very accurate with that backhand down the line. Can do a lot of damage, that backhand down the line. Hit with such precision.
I think it's one of the best shots in his game. He's loved to hit that backhand down the line ever since he was 12 years old.
So we're back to deuce. Having starved off 3 break points. Young Yuki BHAMBRI. Oh, a wonderful forehand by POSPISIL.
Advantage, POSPISIL.
Coming around his backhand there and absolutely clobbering a forehand at 156 kilometers an hour. It's going to be one of the biggest forehands hit at the Chennai Open this year.
Great point there by Yuki, approaching the net.
Very solid forehand volley by the Indian. As you watch this, nice and early, great racket work, great preparation. Bring that forehand volley into the open court. We're back to deuce.
Advantage.
Great
Bumble.
rally there. I think it was a 10-12 ball rally. I think the longer the point goes, the more it's probably better for Yuki.
Well, his confidence seems to be growing as his match progresses, especially off the ground. He's getting a lot more consistent. The length and depth of the ground strokes too getting a lot better. Like you said, needs to toughen out this game. That game point is clawed back from a few break points down.
Game Bumble.
Good hold there.
POSPISIL leads 4-2.
And you see there, Vasek POSPISIL, the number 5 seed from Canada. The upper break, he leads 4-2. Opening set. On a beautiful evening here in Chennai on the southern tip of India, on the southern seaboard, on the eastern seaboard in fact. Taking his time, hitting the forehand into the open court. The serve there doing the damage. Again at 196. And that forehand at 158. Some very heavy hitting here by the Canadian.
First serve doing the damage again. I think it's important if you can get a high percentage of first serves in the match. It gives you a lot of confidence and a couple of easy points in the game.
Yeah, you work a lot. You don't need to work that hard, huh? Get 2 cheap points. Again, going out wide. In the top of the tape.
Trying
to go over the highest part of the net there was the number 5 seed. That backhand down the line. Hitting the top of the tape. So 30-15. 7th game. Opening set. Wild forehand there by Yuki BHAMBRI.
Going for too much on that return there. 40-15. Beautiful rally there. Every time we've seen a long point, Yuki's most of the times won that long point. Every time they get into a longish rally for 10, 12, 14 balls.
One more game point here for the Canadian. He's up 4-2. Let's hope Yuki can, as Sana says, keep this rally going as long as possible. Long rallies seem to be favoring him at the moment. He'll make this first return. Again, Pospisil there rushing that forehand. Yuki BHAMBRI clawed back now to deuce. With pressure on the Pospisil serve.
Advantage, Pospisil.
Fifth seed there answers with a huge serve. 209 down the middle.
That's a perfect tee serve there, Rico.
Yep. Unplayable. Doesn't matter who you may be on the other side. A good 1-2 by the Canadian. So he survives whole serve. Leads 5 games to 2. Opening set.
Time.
So live action, Aircel Chennai Open 2014. Quarterfinals. Vasek Pospisil from Canada leads 5 games to 2. This is the opening set against India's Yuki BHAMBRI.
Love 15.
The depth of that forehand
Love
forcing
15.
Yuki into an error.
Love 15.
I'd like to see Yuki hold serve here and make Pospisil serve out the set. You don't want him to start the opening. You don't want him to start the second set on his serve. Very important for Yuki to hold here. Again, going over the highest part of the net there was Pospisil. This time the ball catches the top of the tape. So only the crowd getting into it.
Crowd's getting fired up. Great first serve there by Yuki.
30-15.
Pospisil miss hitting that forehand long.
Good second serve by Yuki BHAMBRI. Two game points.
Net. First. Game BHAMBRI.
Good first serve there by Yuki BHAMBRI. Holds serve very handily.
Pospisil leads.
Pospisil now will serve for the opening set. 5 games to 3.
It'll be interesting to see. Yuki needs to make Pospisil play in this game and really work for it.
No free points. Make him earn every single point. Put the pressure on him as he serves for the opening set. 32 minutes they've been playing here. A beautiful evening in Chennai. Oh, set it up beautifully.
Just missing
15.
that
Yeah.
by an inch or two.
Those two off forehands, nice and deep, really set up that forehand. Just missed. But that's okay. As long as he's being aggressive, being positive. And that big serve setting that up.
Pospisil's being, very aggressive on that first serve, and he's been getting a lot of his first serves, and the percentage has been pretty high so far.
So 204. Yuki guessed right there, but just was unable to pick up that forehand. The 30 love.
Great rally there by both players.
Some very heavy hitting here
30,
on center
50.
court. In the end, Pospisil's backhand slice hits the top of the tape and bounces back on his side. So 30-15. That off forehand doing the damage there. So 2 set points to the 5th seed, the Canadian Vasek POSPISIL, as he leads 5 games to 3 and 40-15.
Game
Big
first
serve
set.
there
Pospísil.
again to close out the first set. We've seen him get
6
like
games
3
to
out of the
3.
5 first serves in and doing the damage there.
So with that, in 35 minutes, Vasek POSPISIL from Canada has won the first set against Yuki BHAMBRI by 6 games to 3.
James and the front score the first set. Pospísil 6-3.
Coming up, I think. So we're live action from the Aircel Chennai Open 2014. It's been a pleasure having Sana BHAMBRI with us, India's former Fed Cup tennis player and of course the sister of
Time.
Yuki BHAMBRI. Sana, thank you for being part of the team,
Thanks, Rico. It was a pleasure being here tonight.
and we look forward to seeing you more often at the Chennai Open.
Thanks, Rico.
The second set, about to begin.
Second set.
37 minutes into the
BHAMBRI
match,
to serve.
and Vasek POSPISIL has won the first set 6 games to 3. Yuki BHAMBRI now to open proceedings from the far end. Needs to make sure he gets a lot of first serves in here. Happy to welcome back my friend Anand
Love
Amritraj.
15.
Rico, how are you? We're listening to you while having a little bite to eat.
Yes, it's been a good
Tough
first set.
first set, yeah. Almost broke back again. Lots of firepower, huh? Wow.
Love 13.
Again, that off forehand by POSPISIL doing the damage.
Well, it's a huge game for Yuki BHAMBRI here. Just try to stay even. He was telling me this evening that he practices quite a bit with the Canadian.
Fifteen, 13.
They're both absolutely smoking the ball. We're standing the side of the court. You see how hard the ball is being hit.
No holding back.
Yeah, absolutely. Plays. He did compare. Yuki did compare his opponent's game to the #1 Canadian Raonic, who won the Stone Oval last year or the year before. Oh, Yuki.
15, 14.
That was a bad miss. Pulled it wide. 2 break points in the first game of the second set.
Game
Reached
lost.
for that one. He didn't move his feet to get in position. Just reached for
First
it
game,
and
second set.
totally mistimed it.
Just not what the start he really wanted. He lost the first set, loses serve right off the bat in the opening game of the second set. But you know, Anand, playing at this level, you know, it's not easy for someone ranked 200 plus
No,
to sustain over a period of time.
exactly.
So-
You can play for a few games
Yeah.
or even a set maybe, but to handle it all the way through 3 sets, and that's why they play 5 sets in the Grand Slam tournaments. So really the better player wins. To be able to maintain that level for 2.5, 3 hours, never easy. Oh yeah, great shot. What a rally.
That's one part of his game that's really improved. He's moving a lot better than he did before. Not easy to get behind that backhand. On the full run here on the forehand, Pospisil does the right thing, puts the pressure on him.
Yuki comes up with the pass. Very well struck backhand down the line. Goodbye.
15.
A huge serve. First one when it lands, 198.
He's been consistently serving his first serves close to 200. Between 198 and 210. The bigger ones at 208.
Yeah.
30, 15.
Constantly playing defense. Yuki, as soon as the Canadian lands the first serve, you just rushed and you have so little time to make your shots, and that's what makes the game so difficult.
Again, that serve at 206, Anand.
Wow, huge, absolutely huge. Almost 130 miles an hour, 125. Well, you've got a great service motion as well.
Net.
Came out of
Second
nowhere to get to the semis of the Canadian Open this year after 3 or 4 huge wins, finally losing 7-6 in the third to his compatriot Milos Raonic,
Net.
who lost to
Second
Nadal in
set.
the final. But it was a tremendous effort from this young Canadian, also leading Canada to semis of the Davis Cup last year.
Hot. Mr. Pospisil changing the call. on the
Overruled
left
from the
service
chair
line.
and
The ball was
challenged by Pospisil.
Court stands.
Good overrule from the umpire.
30. Mr. Pospisil has 3 challenges remaining.
Well, this is a huge point for Yuki.
Mr. BHAMBRI is changing the call on the left near sideline. The ball was called in.
I think that's a throwaway challenge for the Indian. Challenging the serve, but I think he knows it was in.
Court stands. 40-30. Mr. BHAMBRI has 2 challenges remaining.
Well, the 45 points that Yuki has got so far certainly help him out quite a bit in his ranking, I would think. Nice way to start the year.
Put his wild card to good use.
Absolutely.
So game point for the number 5 seed.
Game Pospisil.
He's standing in so far for Pospisil first serve. I would think that maybe he could take a couple of steps back just
Pospisil
to
leads
give
2 games to none.
Canadian a new look, maybe. It's always good to change returning positions, don't you think, Rico?
Absolutely. And I would like to see him put the ball back in the court to start the rally.
First to start the rally.
Because I've noticed as the rallies have progressed, he's won quite a few of the ones as they've got longer.
50 left.
Yuki serves don't get much over 180, even the first ones.
Yeah, that's definitely one part of his game that
Needs improvement.
is for him to get to the next level.
That was 147. Just rolled it in, basically.
13.
Followed up with a big forehand that fell straight on the baseline.
Oh, 13-15.
With a huge forehand cross court by the Canadian.
Yuki's forehand landing a little short, and the Canadian, this one right here, just hung in the air. And against the top players, you can't afford to leave the ball hanging in the middle of the court.
You see the average forehand speeds 133 versus 119.
Brilliant. Needed that. Perfectly timed and placed. Backhand top and lob.
15.
How old is POSPISIL? What's this? Beautiful. Look at this. Couldn't have hit it any better.
I think he's early 20s.
And he's ranked also in the 20s,
I think he's 32 in the world, if I'm not wrong.
Okay. Come a long way.
Big climber in 2013. Climbed 100 odd spots, I'm told.
Yeah, well done. And with that forehand miss, Yuki BHAMBRI hangs on to his serve in the second set. Still down a break though. 2-1 to the Canadian. Set number 2.
Time.
Check background. Vasek. Yeah. Well, 6-3, 2-1 with a break to the Canadian, number 5 seed. One of the rising stars on the ATP Tour. This in the quarterfinal of the 2014 Aircel Chennai Open. Right here, massive game, massive firepower by this young Canadian. 23 years of age. A year older than our own Yuki BHAMBRI. Oh, big hitting.
15.
On both sides of the net. That backhand of POSPISIL just catching the line.
Both guys not giving an inch away from the baseline, both holding their ground.
Holding their ground, exactly.
You don't realize on television how hard that ball is being struck.
Yeah.
Until you watch it live on court side, you don't really realize how quick that ball is actually traveling.
From here it looks like one of the video games. Side to side, corner to corner.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't realize it's going at sometimes over 100 miles an hour. Look at this rally. Wow. Good defense for BHAMBRI.
After all that, the wrong choice of shot by the young Indian. Did brilliantly well in that rally. Stayed aggressive at times, defended excellently. And then 26 shots.
Probably the longest rallies, one of the longest rallies of the match.
And of the tournament.
Of the tournament, yes. But the funny thing is, I've seen him hit that forehand drop shot quite successfully. So far, that's the first one he kind of made a mess of.
Yeah, in the Calcutta South Club, we call it the Chalaki. The Chalaki drop shot.
At the South Club, yeah. Typical Calcutta shot, that one. Why is it all the Calcutta boys try Chalaki stuff? This is what I'd like to know. We don't, here in the South, you do that first time, you'll get hit on the back of your head. So then you won't do it again.
Yeah, good question. Maybe
it's a Calcutta thing.
40-15.
The hard guy to break, Vasek.
Continuing to serve with a lot of venom, a lot of depth. That has been putting a lot of pressure on the young Indian. So 40-15, 2-1. That first serve consistently close to 200 kilometers an hour.
Oops.
Game. POSPISIL.
Sheer depth of that second serve, forcing the error from the Indian.
POSPISIL lead 3-1.
Now Vasek POSPISIL after 51 minutes is up 6-3 and 3-1.
This match actually going forward real quickly, just as the previous match did with the number 1 seed, Wawrinka. The winner of this match plays the number 1 seed, so it should be a very, very good semi-final tomorrow.
Love 15.
Can't afford errors like that.
An absolute must-win game for young Yuki BHAMBRI.
Had it lined up. Very, very ambitious shot by Yuki BHAMBRI there. Over the high part of the net.
But again, some solid hitting by both players.
Great rally. Finally a miss hit, the Canadian.
30.
Yuki, of course, headed to Australia next week to play the qualifying for the Aussie Open Championships, and then straight in the doubles.
Having qualified through a event, right?
Winning a wildcard tournament in China with his partner from New Zealand. So they get into the main draw of the Australian Open in the doubles, which is worth a lot. You win one round there, it's big money and big points.
Oh. 40-15.
Ball kicked up high over Yuki's backhand side.
Been very fearless of his return of serve today.
He has.
He's kind of stepped into every single one of them. I'd like to see him step back a bit a couple of times and just get the point started.
Get the ball in play. Just wide. 208.
Big serve, setting up that forehand, forcing the error of the BHAMBRI racket.
POSPISIL leads 4-2.
POSPISIL holds serve and leads by 4-2 on the hour mark here in this quarterfinal.
For a change, you might not be here at the Cinderella hour, Rico, unless it rains or something, which hopefully it won't.
Don't do this to me 2 nights in a row,
No,
Mr. Amritraj.
exactly. Look at this.
I missed the party last night, having to wait here for the rain delay.
Yeah, if it hadn't been for the rain delay, you would have been there.
Yep.
Net first. 15
While this quarterfinal is being played, there's another quarterfinal going on outside, on the outside court.
Who's playing?
Marcel Grenollers is playing Benoit Paire of France.
How's that going?
They one set all
One set all.
and 1 all in the third.
Tight, as was the first one between Eduardo Roger Vasselin for the first 2 sets. Split sets with Dudi Saylor before he won 6-love in the third.
out.
Just long,
15.
not challenging it. Ooh, big return. Oh, that's a nice shot. Wow.
A wonderful mix-up by the Indian, throwing in a sliced.
30, 15.
That wasn't really a drop shot.
Yeah, I was just saying, I didn't know what to call that.
Yeah, what was this? Slider, sideways, angled. Nicely done. Completely fooled the Canadian. He didn't even take a step to his right.
Mr.
great
Pospisi
serve.
changing the call.
Very
On
close
right
second
this
serve
line.
there.
The ball was
The
clear.
first serve.
So the SL review, the Hawkeye challenge on this serve. Yes,
Cross
dead on the
times.
line. So 2 game points
14,
to
15.
Yuki
Mr.
Bambri.
Pospisi has 1 challenge remaining.
Just toss that first serve in. Hitting the top of the tape.
Game Bambri.
There it is. Yuki hangs on to the serve, keeping the match close.
New ball speed.
But the Canadians still a break up in the second set.
Pospisi leads
4 games to
to
3.
3.
Having won the first 6-3.
Time.
So live action from the SDAT Tennis Stadium.
In? Where is it?
Valluvar Kottam. Valluvar Kottam.
I was waiting for that at least once. And I heard you say it with Vijay when I was listening to your first commentary in Ram Kumar's double this earlier this evening.
Yeah, he told me to tell you he got away before the hour mark today.
I think he likes to rub it in. Valluvar Kottam.
Valluvar Kottam. Beautiful evening here in Chennai.
It's actually been a beautiful week.
Yep.
Other than a couple of raindrops here and there. Oh, good depth. On the line.
On the line.
This is some big hitting. See, he should have been in on that earlier. Yes. This is in now. Oh, Yuki. What a perfect point to that last smash.
15 love.
It was actually quite a deep lob. It wasn't as easy as it looked, but still definitely makeable. This one right here. behind the service line.
He seemed to have let that ball get behind him a little bit. Misjudged it a little bit, I would imagine. Distance run in the last point, 59 meters, 59.1 and 59.3. So nothing in it. They're both
Covering the court equally.
13.
again that big serve by the Canadian. That's been the difference, Anand, today.
Yeah.
That POSPISIL has been winning a couple of points
3
in every
points
on his serve,
exactly.
which Yuki has not been able to do.
Do.
And I think that has really been the difference between the two of them. Otherwise, stroke for
Otherwise not-
stroke
yeah.
from the baseline, they've been pretty much
Even.
evenly matched.
Not much to choose on the baseline. And neither one has come to the net much, so we haven't seen the volleying skills. But you're right, the serve has been a big difference. Ooh, a lot of yellow shirts.
I can picture my friend Mr. Amit Rajan one in that color.
Yeah, one of my favorite colors. He's got his laundry hanging up.
Again, that heavy forehand by POSPISIL forcing the error off the Indians' racket. And with that, he'll hold
POSPISIL
serve.
leads 5 games to 3.
He's 5 games to 3 in the second set.
Well, 1 break per set has been the difference between the two players, and a little bit more firepower on the serve would certainly have helped Yuki in this match. Well, certainly his ground strokes have been up to par.
So 1 hour and 7 minutes, 1 minute and 8 minutes old this match. We've been treated to some fine hitting by both players from both the baseline.
Love 15.
What do you think he needs to do with that serve here, Rika? I'm not quite figure out why he's not able to generate more pace. If Ramkumar, who is lankier and thinner than him, can do second serves at 185 and first serves at 200, it has to be the motion.
Yeah, and I think also that the fact is that he's a little stiff on his service motion.
He's very stiff on the motion, yes.
That's not helping him keep his wrist nice and loose. So
I
he
think the
hits-
shoulder turn is not there also.
Yeah.
It's more like facing the net, don't you think?
Yeah, if they get very open,
Open stance.
so he's not being able to generate any sort of body weight behind it. It becomes very arm.
It's all, yeah, exactly. His coach,
Aditya Sachdeva, dear friend of mine from Delhi, has been with Yuki for a number of years, from the time he was a sub-junior.
really.
Yep.
Oh yeah, well done. Really needed that point.
15,
A
13.
must-win game here, otherwise we could be shaking hands pretty soon. This is the last of the Indian challenges in the tournament. It's been a good tournament for the Indians altogether. Oh yeah, well done. Little pressure on the Canadians' backhand paid off that time. Yuki's had a good tournament, Ramkumar's had a great tournament, and the boys did well in the doubles, so it's all in all better than usual performance by the Indian players.
Definitely the star of it being Ramkumar Ramanathan coming through the qualifying, winning a match in the main draw, and of course Yuki doing really well on the first day.
13, 14.
So again, that serve.
The difference here, when you play at this level, you need a serve that's going to win you a few free points now and then, and it just doesn't happen today.
I've been very impressed with Yuki. I think he's been really good off the ground, and like you said, if you can get something on his serve,
Thank
he
you.
needs to work on that and improve that, then he can compete with the best in the world. See, all of a sudden the rhythm on the serve's completely gone off.
Match point. There it is.
7 match, POSPISIL.
POSPISIL quite excited with the win. Semi-final of the Aircel Chennai Open this year. Played a very solid match. And Yuki, nothing to be ashamed of. He lost to a very, very fine player. And did really well to get to the quarterfinal, winning 2 extremely good matches. With the Canadian flag out there.
The Maple Leaf.
The Maple Leafs. There it is. He looks Indian, but he's waving a Canadian flag around.
Well, we need a separate bag for him to carry all his t-shirts out. That's his computer bag. I see an Apple sign there.
Really?
So, Vasek POSPISIL, the number 5 seed, coming through in about an hour and 9 minutes, beating India's Yuki BHAMBRI 6-3, 6-3. Well contested quarterfinal, and like we said, possibly the serve being the difference between the two players. As Vasek POSPISIL signs and autographs a few tennis balls, I guess he has to get the cricket bat into his hand and see the match stats here. Again, low percentage of first serves there by Yuki BHAMBRI. 47% is just not good enough at this level. 64 by the Canadian. More aces, less double faults, more winners. Unforced errors, well, pretty close to each other. And break points 1-0 to 4. I think Yuki can take a lot from this tournament, Anand. He had a good week.
Certainly.
Well,
I think it's the first time he's won 2 matches here. A couple of years ago he won 1, but this is really a good effort. Even the match against a slightly injured Fonini was a good effort, just to stay ahead of him, stay in the match, and force him to quit. So with 45 ATP points, Yuki should be helped quite a bit in his ranking.
at the beginning of the year, should do him a world of good.
Exactly. Confidence-wise, points-wise, and money-wise, I think he's had an extremely good week. Let's go down to the court where Mayanti is with the winner.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm with Vasek here. This is your 4th semi-final appearance in an ATP Tour event, and it's been a fantastic season for you.
Yeah, it's been great. I'm really thrilled to be in the semis right now. I knew I had to play extremely well today against a very talented player, and I was fortunate that I came out and I played some of my best tennis, so I'm very excited to be in the semis here.
And just talking about last year, you jumped almost 100 places in the rankings. That's incredible. Is that playing in your mind at all?
Yeah, it's helping with confidence a little bit. I'm a lot more confident on the court right now, and I had a great season last year, of course, and so I'm just gonna try to keep going.
Well, you reached a really crucial stage now, and you're here in Chennai. Have you enjoyed it? The crowd is obviously backing you as well. Good atmosphere?
Oh yeah, incredible atmosphere. A lot of people came out today. Thanks, guys. But I love playing in front of crowds like this, and so looking forward to the next match.
You can see some Canadian fans out there. You certainly got a lot of fans. All the best to you.
Thank you.
All right, back to you.
Well, he played a perfect match today. Broke twice in the second set, once in the first, for a very straightforward 6-3, 6-3 win. And the match coming up has an Indian in it. Karen Kashanov and Sakit Manani against the number 4 seeds Fredrik Nielsen, Johan Brunstrom. Should be a good one. That's coming up right after the break.